Sometimes you have to concede defeat, and today is one of those days. Hi guys, it's Sue and this is Beauty Fortified, and today I'm talking about the new Estee Lauder Double Sheer Foundation. So I'm going to be talking about the foundation, but I'm not going to be applying it. Instead, I'm going to be applying a lovely everyday fresh pink rosy look. So I'm going to get started. I'm going in with my MAC Studio Fix primer and I'm just going to dot this all over my face. I have normal combination skin. I'm 50 years old. I do have fine lines, wrinkles, and quite a lot of texture. And because my skin is normal combination, I do struggle with oiliness. So I'm going to be using a little bit of this. I have reviewed it. It is not great, but it definitely does help a little bit with the staying power of your foundation. So it doesn't necessarily help with oiliness, but it does help with the longevity of your foundation. So getting back to the Estee Lauder Double Sheer, this has been out in South Africa for about a month now, and I have been trying to get my hands on a sample so that I could test it. And usually what Estee Lauder does, what they're very good at, is they give you a little sample of foundation. They usually give you about 5 days worth of wear so that you can test out the foundation. It's one of the things that they're famous for. So I've been phoning around stores and none of the stores had any testers. So they had the actual product, but they didn't have any testers. So fast forward to a month later and I finally tracked down some testers in store. So today I'm using everything but Estee Lauder. I'm going in with a small sample of my Clinique Even Better Glow foundation, and this is in the shade Honey. Note Estee Lauder, I do have a sample, and I'm just going to apply this all over my face. I really love this one. It's very similar to the Even Better. It just has a slight glow to it. Just a tiny bit more glow. I don't like a very dewy foundation because I do have combination skin and it does tend to exacerbate my pores. But this one is really, really good. I'm just going to apply that all over with my fingers. So I tracked down a store that had the testers. I phoned and I said, you know, would I be able to come through this afternoon and get a little bit of the shade? I'm in the shade Ivory Beige for Estee Lauder foundations, and they did have the color in stock, but she said they've got the testers but they don't have the little containers, so she didn't think it would be possible to give me something to take home. I would have to try the foundation in store. Now I will never purchase a foundation based on trying it once in store, that's for sure, because you've got the lighting to contend with and you also don't know how it's going to wear throughout the day. And let's face it, it is a big purchase. It's a high-end foundation. It is expensive. So I didn't see that as a solution, but I thought, well, I would go in store and trial the foundation anyway. Now, just a little bit about the foundation. It comes in a plastic tube, which is great for travel. It comes in 30 ml, and it is quite a liquidy foundation. And they talk about it as a very sheer foundation, so it's something that's just going to even out your skin tone. And being a double wear foundation, I thought, well, that sounds like heaven, because it sounds like the kind of thing you can use on no makeup days where you just want a sheer coverage, but it's not going to transfer being double wear. It's going to stay put, and I'm sure it's quite buildable. So I had all these preconceived ideas about the foundation, but I have seen some not very flattering reviews on YouTube as well. So I was a little bit hesitant. Definitely was something I wanted to try out first. Now just a little bit about the Estee Lauder foundations, but before we go into that, I'm going in today with my Wet n Wild Quad, and this is Walking on Eggshells. I'm going to take the transition shade and I'm going to apply that to my upper lid with a fluffy crease brush. So I'm a big fan of Estee Lauder Double Wear. One of my go-tos is the original Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place. And then I've also tried the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue, which is quite a lot more glowy. It's a lovely foundation. It actually improves as the day wears on, but it is quite glowy, and I don't like a glowy foundation because I have pores and texture. So initially in my research stages, I was asking them what is their replacement for Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, because they have phased it out. Now, I was a huge fan of the Double Wear Light, not the most recent version that came out in 2018, but the version prior to that. It was one of my holy grails. I just really loved it. It was so easy to apply. It also came in a tube. It was a great everyday foundation. Really, really enjoyed that. So they came back to me and they said that the replacement for that is the Futurist Hydro Rescue. It's not the new Double Wear Sheer. So just bear that in mind. The Double Wear Sheer seems to be a completely different animal. Now, I would not say that this is a dupe or a replacement for the Double Wear Light whatsoever. The Double Wear Light was very unique. So I don't buy that for 1 second. And I think that they are a little bit misguided if they think we are going to fall for that. And, you know, it's interesting with YouTube, if you are passionate about makeup, there's just so much research you can do, so many reviews you can watch. And a lot of the time, the customer is a lot more savvy than, you know, the in-store customer sales assistants who will try and fob you off with things that you just know are a load of nonsense, having done your research. So onto the foundation, I went into the store and the lady, as she said, she didn't have a little, they call these, they've got a funny name for them. She didn't have any of those, so she couldn't give me anything to take away, but she said that I could try it on there. So just with my eyeshadow, I'm now going onto the lid and I'm using the pink shade over there. And I'm just going to wet an eyeshadow brush just to give it a little bit more intensity. So I went in, I tried the foundation. As I say, it is quite liquidy. She put a little bit onto the back of my hand and then I applied it onto my face. And it looked like I was applying a tinted moisturizer. It was very sheer. It did give me some coverage. It didn't really disguise texture. And the shade match was brilliant. I am in the shade Ivory Beige. So what's great about Estee Lauder is that their shade ranges tend to be consistent throughout their foundation. So if you are Ivory Beige in one, you're going to be Ivory Beige in just about everything else. That's been my experience. So we tried it on and I asked her a few questions about the foundation. I asked her whether it was transfer proof and she nodded vehemently, yes, it's definitely transfer proof. So I thought, well, that's fantastic because that is one of the big things that I do look for in a foundation, especially when we're wearing masks and all that. So I finished with the lid and now I'm going to be using the darker brown shade in the outer corner and under the lid. So I left with the foundation. I had a look at it in daylight and it, you know, it looked okay. It looked like a sheer tint more than anything. And it wasn't anything to write home about, but it's marketed as sheer, and that is pretty much what I expected. So I left it on the skin and I didn't powder down or anything like that. I just left it on my skin and I left it for about half an hour. And then I came home and I got my magnification mirror out to have a really good look at the foundation. And in the reviews that I've seen, a lot of people struggle about the longevity and how to get the foundation to work. They just can't seem to make it work. And I can understand why. When I touched my skin, I literally took fingerprints of foundation off my face. Now, with this foundation that I've applied, if I touch my skin, it's not even tacky. It's kind of dried down to a satin matte finish. There will be a tiny bit of transfer on my fingers, but with the Estee Lauder foundation, you could actually see a print on your finger of where the foundation had come off. So, unfortunately, it is definitely not transferable. And with something like that, it's not going to have a lot of longevity. And it's going to make me very nervous because I'm just going to be constantly thinking about the foundation sliding around my face. Now I'm going to be going in with some blush. I'm going in today with my MAC Grand, and this is one of the Glow Play blushes, the cream blushes. So I was really disappointed off the bat, and it is a high-end foundation. It is expensive. It's 680 bucks. You get 30 ml for that, and so it really is quite an investment, and I was not willing to make the investment just based on that first trial. If I had been given a sample, I probably would have given it a few more goes to see if there was anything I could possibly do to make it work. But I really don't want to start applying primer, building it up, and using a whole lot of other lotions and potions to make a high-end foundation work. I think that is just a real no-no. It should work on its own, and if you want to complement it with, a little bit of pore blurring primer or something like that, then that should be something extra, but it shouldn't be something that you have to do in order to make the foundation work. And I think that is the takeout that I have got with a lot of YouTube reviews that I've seen. I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but I've seen Stephanie Marie. She's done a very good one. She does excellent foundation reviews, and that was one of the things that she was doing, was trying to make it work. And when you're spending that kind of money, you shouldn't have to try. It should just work. So today I'm using a lot of my favorites. These are, I call them like my comfort food of makeup products. They're just things that I love, that I can throw on, that I know work, and not a single Estee Lauder product in sight. So this is my finger to Estee Lauder, because I really think that, they've really disappointed me. I was expecting an upgrade of the Estee Lauder Light. So unfortunately, it wasn't that at all, and they bring out foundations and then they discontinue them. They brought out the nude foundation, which I never tried, but I believe that's off the market now. So I really don't know what their strategy is. And if they had just left the original Double Wear Light and just left it be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know why they tweaked that. I just don't know. And it's really disappointing when brands do that. I hate it. I don't know why they do it, and it just makes me sad and mad. I'm going to be contouring a little bit. I'm going in with MAC Prism, and I'm just going to be using a little bit of this on a contour brush just to give me a little bit of definition. So that is my take on the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer. I really can't recommend it. I think that apart from all the struggles I went through in getting the product, apart from their marketing fail, I mean, how can you make a product available without any testers when you are known for your testers? I don't understand that strategy. I think it's really bad. And even if you crack open one of each product that you have in store, can you not do that? I mean, I don't know what the costing implications are, but you really can't sell a high-end foundation unless you're going to be providing testers. So, they've got a lot of competition out there. A lot of drugstore brands are bringing out fantastic foundations, and I think that if they want to stay ahead of the game, they're going to have to try a whole lot harder. So that's my take out from this. I'm just going to apply a little bit more here. I do have a blemish there, which is annoying me. But this Clinique Even Better Glow is really nice. I can really recommend it. I think I am going to purchase a full size thanks to the sample. So that's a really good thing. So I'm going to be going in with a little bit of mascara, and today I'm using the Revlon So Fierce. I'm just going to apply a couple of coats of this. And finally, for the lips, I'm going to be going in with my Clarins lip liner in Rose Nude. This is no longer available. And then the lipstick that I'm using today is from MAC, and this is one of their Lustre lipsticks in the color Sea Sheer. And so guys, that is the finished look using a lot of my all-time favorites, not a single Estee Lauder product in sight. Let me know if you've used the new Sheer foundation and what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your comments, leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.